Alright, we're going to make a homemade lighted arrow knock here. A couple things you need. Here's the old knock that's removed from the arrow. We're going to use a part of it. Here's the new replaceable one, clear, fluorescent, any color. And your till bobber light, the push button. The twisty ones don't work for this purpose. But anyway, take the battery out. You can see how it turns on and off, pushes in. You slide up in there, you can see how that lights up. So anyway, the next thing you do, excuse me, to sand this down to where it fits in here relatively loosely, a lot looser than what you would normally set your knocks at, but you don't want it to wiggle to where you can get out of alignment. Then I take a drill with a small drill bit, go right in the back of the knock. And we're just going to drill a hole right through where the string seats, right in the back of the knock there. That's going to allow this light to shine through a little brighter. Alrighty. So we've got these two set up the way we need it. Now this is going to work as the stop. We're going to take a part of the back of this one and cut it off. Okay, I've got the old knock in the vise here just to hold it. And I'm just going to cut 3/8 of an inch probably. Maybe a little less than an inch. Alright, what we've got all our pieces now that we need to put this thing together. The back part of the original knock that we cut off to make sure that we had a stop. We've test fitted it to make sure it's really tight in there. The other thing you got to do is make sure that the battery will slide in. So if this is too small, then you're going to have to drill it out. If it's a little big, that's okay. So we're going to glue this in here. That works as a stop. Test this, make sure it goes in the way we want it, and you can see what we're going to be working with here. This works as the wedge and stop. It slides down in the arrow, and when you shoot, the pressure turns it on. Now this will be glued in, so when you pull on it, it'll pull it back off. Now we're going to talk about gluing this point in right now. You can mess these up at this point very easily. What you got to do is take the very edge where the glass and this plastic come together. You want to put a little bit of super glue right in there. Sorry, it's a little blurry. You don't want to get it back down in here, or otherwise you'll glue this all together and it won't function. So what I like to do is I like to put a little bit of super glue on the table and just roll this edge right in it. You don't need much. Get it all the way around, and then you easily slide that right in there and push it. And give it just a second to start to dry, and then pull on it and make sure it's going to click out. And normally what you have to do is just work it just a little bit. I've got one here that's already put together, and you can see I can pull in the knock and the battery, push, it goes on, pull, and it comes off. Works without a whole lot of pressure. So the second thing you want to do is go ahead and glue the back part on. I use a thick 5-minute epoxy on this. Hot glue will work depending on how snug this fits to the battery, but it doesn't seem to hold quite as well. And if this pops loose down inside there, then you got to take your end point off and slide a rod down through there to get it all back out, which is kind of a pain. So what we've got here is this arrow knock all ready to go. I've already glued this one up. You want to take your arrow and start by sliding this end in. This is really tight, and you got to be careful not to mess it all up. I'm going to have to sand a little bit off of this just to get it down in there. So, alright, well, as you can see, this is a different color than the other one we were working on. That's because I sanded it down and slipped in the arrow. Forgot to turn the camera back on. So I got this other one that I'm working on as well. I got it all sanded down, and what we got to do now is go ahead and slide the knock and everything in. You want to line your fletchings up the way you want them with the knock. Once you get this in, you don't want to be twisting this thing around because you can snap it off in there. These aren't the most durable things in the world, but they work plenty well. So I've got this started. I'm just going to slide it in as far as I can by the battery. Then you just got to go ahead and grab the knock and just give it a push. See how it came on? Everything slid in there the way we want it. And should be able to give it a little pull. Comes off. Give it a push and it goes on. Just the way we want it. So we got another one ready to go. Pretty basic stuff. You can see how well it works. Sometimes they're a little stubborn to turn off. I'm just going to push it here. This pressure would indicate, like the string when you release the bow. It lights up just as nicely as you could expect, and it's about a third of the price of a store-bought one. So, but there you have it. Pretty basic.